Hey, I'm Noelle.
And I'm Marisa, but Noelle calls me Pete.
True.
And welcome back to
Take It Home.
I'm going to be real. We filmed a whole intro and I forgot to press record. So we're doing this again. I feel like that's a podcast rite of passage.
Yeah. Thank God we just filmed the intro and we didn't film like an entire episode without recording.
Yeah. I would have maybe cried.
I would have maybe punched someone or something. Not you.
Anyway, that was my fault.
That's okay.
So I'm going to introduce our sip of the week, which we had already tried, but that's okay. Today we're drinking iced maple lattes.
Oh!
Cheers.
Wait, eye contact. And what is so special about these maple lattes, Pete?
These maple lattes were inspired by our last weekend. We went to Vermont and everywhere we went, we were drinking maple lattes. If you don't know, Vermont is famous for their maple syrup. So
It's true.
Just every store, every deli, every coffee shop we went into, they had like Vermont maple syrup that you could put into your latte. So of course, we exclusively drank maple lattes the entire time we were there as our coffee. And when I was in Vermont, I was on one thing I really wanted to bring home was like a maple butter or like a maple cream type situation, which is basically just maple syrup, but they do something to it that makes it creamy. I found a really nice jar of cinnamon maple cream, and that's what I made these lattes with. I brewed espresso over the cream, so I put it in a little cup. Poured espresso over it, stirred it up, and it melted into it. Then I just added milk to it and topped it with a little cinnamon. And that's that. Super easy.
And these are our first coffees of the day.
Yeah, and it's like 11:30, which is way too late for me to be drinking coffee.
Definitely late for you.
Like, not to be drinking coffee, but to be having my first coffee.
Yeah.
So
we're still adjusting to the morning. Yeah. We're caffeinating currently.
Exactly.
Well, before we get into our top topic, hot topic,
top topic,
let us share our smiles of the week. We did just share these and it wasn't recording, so we're going to try to make it natural and authentic, even though we did just say these. Okay. Wow, Pete, I will tell you my smile of the week, which you don't know already.
I wonder what it is.
Well. My smile of the week is the Vermont Country Daily. Actually, they don't have Southern accents in Vermont. So I don't know why I said it like that. Also, remember when I thought Vermont, I'm like, should I say it on the podcast or is everyone going to think I'm done?
No.
I used to think Vermont was like on the West Coast.
It's funny because we went for our friend's bachelorette party, and so her fiance's family has a house there. So I had gone before, and Noelle was supposed to come, then she got COVID. It was a whole thing. So Vermont was a topic of conversation for a period of time, and it somehow came up that she thought it was on the West Coast.
Not like on the ocean, but like more like on the western side of the United States.
Like what states did you think it was next to?
I thought it was closer to like Wisconsin.
Oh, well, that's Midwest.
Oh. You guys.
Where do you think Wisconsin is? Just curious.
I don't even know. Y'all, I promise I'm not dumb, but I am a little dumb when it comes to geography. I'm sorry, I don't know where anything is, and I love to travel, so that's kind of an off-brand thing, but I don't know like where I'm traveling to on the map. I just like to go places and explore them.
That's crazy.
But now I know where Vermont is.
I randomly love geography. Not that I'm like good at it. I mean, I do know like where the 50 states are, but I get fascinated by geography. Like if someone mentions a country and I don't know where it is, I like to go look it up on Apple Maps and see where it is and like what countries are near it and like how close it is to me. Like, I don't know. I kind of love geography.
You should teach me someday.
Not that I don't know that much, but
Well, okay. Anyways,
What's your smile?
my smile was the Vermont Country Deli. Me, Pete, Michaela, who was the bride who we were celebrating, and another bridesmaid, Maria. The four of us drove from New York City up to Vermont. The car ride was like 5.5 hours. So, of course, we have to stop for some snacks and food along the way. And at one point, we were all getting hungry and we were debating where to go and grab lunch. So we were suggesting places like Taco Bell and Wendy's, you know, the typical fast food places on the side of the highway. But then I was doing some research and up on my phone pops up, hello? And on my phone pops up the Vermont Country Deli. What is the Vermont Country Deli? I asked myself as I scrolled through the website. Anyways, pictures of really yummy looking sandwiches popped up with some like homemade sourdough. It was giving homemade jams. It was giving fresh maple syrup, and it was giving we need to go to the Vermont Country Deli rather than a fast food spot. So we went, and it was like your typical country store, but a little grocery store of all these fresh homemade jams and foods and Vermont cheeses, and it was just so cute.
It was so cute.
We got sandwiches and the amazing mac and cheese with Vermont cheddar. Oh my freaking God.
Yeah.
So that was my smile.
That's a really good one. That could have been my smile as well, honestly, because my smile also has to do with Vermont. I was just going to kind of talk about the trip as a whole, but the Country Deli was incredible. I'm a person who loves markets and like anything like that. So it was a dream come true. We didn't want to leave. And we actually ended up stopping at the Vermont Country Deli on the way home as well.
Yeah, so we did go twice.
But I had this fall harvest sandwich that they had on their menu that had cheddar. It was so simple. It was on a little ciabatta baguette looking thing. And it had ham, white cheddar, red onion. Oh my God. And this honey mustard, but not your average honey mustard. It was almost like a mustardy honey. So it was more of a honey consistency, but it had a little mustard flavor to it rather than being like a mustard, like a sweet mustard, you know? And it was so good. It was so good. I got it again on the way home. And then I also got the mac and cheese.
You forgot another topping that was on the sandwich.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, so bread, ham, cheese, honey mustard, onion. What am I forgetting?
Pete, you're forgetting like the most important part.
Apples. I had apples. Yeah.
Never forget
Key.
the apples.
The apples were key. So good. I got the sandwich on the way home as well, but I got it with turkey instead, just to try something different because I thought turkey would pair well as well. So, yeah, it was delicious. And the mac and cheese was so good, but it really gave me a stomachache.
Yeah, but worth it.
But worth it. I don't know. My smile is kind of the trip as a whole. I just had such a great time. It was really nice to get away from the city and be like in nature in the mountains. We did a hike to a waterfall like early in the morning. One morning we had a spa day. We went to a vineyard. We went thrifting. Like
We did all of the things, honestly.
we did all of the things. And
It wasn't like a crazy party bachelorette trip.
no,
We did go out one night and got a little drunky and had fun, but it wasn't anything crazy. None of us were even hungover the next day,
it was more wholesome. Yeah.
which I love.
Which I do love. We drank so many maple lattes.
We did. Like
So
never-ending maple lattes.
my smile is also Vermont. And I will say one more thing that we did on the way home. We stopped at a cider mill.
Oh.
And they had this maple soft serve.
It was called Maple Creamy.
Maple creamy. And it was so delicious.
Also, they spelled Maple Creamy, Maple Creemee. Creamy.
Oh, that's weird.
Isn't that weird? Maple Creamy.
Creamy.
Maple Creamy.
Creamy.
Anyways. But that was so good.
Vermont is amazing.
A magazine. Is that what you said? It sounded like you said a magazine.
A magazine.
Vermont is a magazine.
I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say amazing.
Vermont is
Vermont
amazing.
is a magazine.
Vermont is a magazine.
So stupid. Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway, should we get into our topic of the day.
Yes, something me and Pete have a lot to say about: how to be single. We know how. We know how. We know how to be single. We've done it. We have experience.
We've been single
for a really long time.
For our entire adult lives. We've had, relationships of sorts that lacked commitment. So I would say the two of us have spent the entirety of our adult lives out of a committed relationship. We have not had a committed relationship. So we have a lot to say about it because I haven't had the experience on the other end of the spectrum of like being in a committed relationship throughout my 20s, which I'm sure comes with its own challenges and gifts and good things as well. A lot of the reason why I'm single, and I think I can speak for you here too, is it's been a choice to an extent. We're not willing to settle for anything less than just someone who's going to add to our lives and also just give us what we need and want out of a relationship. And that's can be rare and really hard to find. So
we're at an interesting time in our lives because Pete and I are both 27 years old. We're in our late 20s, where a lot of people are getting engaged and married. So everyone, I feel like, is kind of at a different life stage. Like, we literally went to a bachelorette party this past weekend, and one of our best friends is getting married next month. But the two of us have both been single for so long. So it's just kind of an interesting place to be right now.
Yeah.
Everyone is moving at different paces. It's kind of difficult to navigate sometimes, but
yeah, your 20s are weird. It's like everyone is on their own journey, because for a while your journey aligns with your peers, for a long time. Like when you're in school and stuff, you're all kind of, you're in the same grade, you're going through the same experiences and checking the same boxes and whatnot. And then when you get out into the real world, everyone's just doing their own thing, and everyone moves at different paces. So it can make you feel like, naturally, as humans, we compare ourselves to others, and it can make you feel like you're behind, but that's just not the case. It's like everyone's path is just different.
Yeah. I've definitely had moments where I'm like, am I going to be single forever? Like, what if I don't have a person out there? Like, why am I single when I'm 27 years old? But honestly, I really am happy that I've been single for all of my 20s. I feel like it's taught me a lot about what I deserve, what I don't deserve, what I want, what I don't want. And I've really gotten to know myself. And I know you feel the same.
Yeah, I am super grateful for it. Yeah, I guess on this episode, we're going to focus on all of the things we've gained from spending our formative adult years as single women. Going off of what I was saying before of being single has partially been a choice. I get the question a lot, like, how are you still single? Or on Hinge.
Hate that question.
It's so stupid. People on Hinge will be like, how are you still on here? Like, what's your red flag? What's wrong with you? And I'm like,
nothing's wrong with you.
I could walk outside and have a boyfriend tomorrow. Sorry. I could. So could you.
Yeah.
It's not that there's a lack of there's nothing wrong with me. I'll just say I'm looking for something specific, and
yeah. And you also don't need anything either. So it's
and that's the thing too.
And that's why
I don't need. Yeah, I'm not looking to fill some void. I'm not looking to. I guess I fulfill a lot of that stuff for myself because I've learned how to do that because I've been single. Yeah, I'm not looking for someone to give me something I don't have,
Exactly.
I'm looking for someone to add something to my life, but you can't force that.
Yeah, you can't.
It's if they're going to be that person, they're going to be that person. And I've had people I've really liked in the past who couldn't commit, and that's that. I'm sorry,
same.
if you don't want that, then I can't force that.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like the people who I've really liked in the past, like Frank Moot.
Frank Moot makes a reappearance.
Yeah, I've mentioned him in past episodes. His name is not actually Frank Moot, but that's a nickname for this guy that I liked for a long time. I really wanted commitment with him, and he could not give me that. And he's one person I would have wanted to be in a relationship just because I thought, he was great for other reasons, but he was very emotionally unavailable for a long time. And then honestly, I got to the point where I wasn't interested in him anymore anyways, because I'm like, okay, I value self-growth. I work on myself a lot. You can't do that.
That becomes a turnoff for sure.
Exactly.
Because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I respect everyone's journeys and where they are. And if you're upfront and honest with me about what you want and what you can't. But it's like, that's that. Like, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
And I hope that I don't know. You knew him for years and he never worked on himself. He came back.
He's the same person he was 3 years ago.
He was the same person. And it's like, what are you doing? You know?
Dude, literally he came back and he was like, I ran away from you because I had feelings for you and I still do. And I was like, okay, well then now what? And he's like, I still can't commit.
Yeah. And it's like, then why are you texting me?
Exactly.
It's so weird.
It is weird. But yeah, I liked him for a long time. I think though, like after working on myself a lot, especially this past year, I've really realized what I deserve and want. And I think for a long time I kind of liked the dopamine hit of him texting me when we wouldn't be talking for like a month and then we'd talk and we'd stay up until 5 a.m. talking on the phone. And it was like, wow, this is amazing. I think I love him. No, I didn't. I don't think I loved him. I think that I liked the wishy-washiness, and I think it gave me a dopamine hit when he would talk to me because for half of the time he was weird and wouldn't, and that's not what I actually want in a committed relationship at all. That's so unhealthy. It was toxic.
You know how, like, I've listened to so many like podcasts and stuff about this, but like it literally creates like an addiction in your brain. And you know how people are always like, the person I was never officially with, like that was the hardest heartbreak, or like it's the one that hit me the hardest. Like I was in a committed relationship for years and like I wasn't as sad as when like my situationship ended. And it's because like you're looking at the potential and you never actually had what you wanted so bad from that person. It can feel more devastating because it's like you don't actually know, quote unquote, like what you're missing, I guess. Yeah, it's like you're not actually grieving that person or that relationship. You're like grieving the potential of this made up thing. And it's a mind game because your brain latches onto those dopamine hits.
You know what's crazy too though? In the past when I have really liked him, if I'm daydreaming and envisioning our future together, I imagine like him being like a grumpy husband. Even when I still really, I don't know, when I really, really liked him, I'm like, what would our future be like? And I imagine him as a grumpy old man. I don't imagine him as like some happy husband who's like making my life better. I imagine someone who doesn't work on themselves, doesn't take care of themselves, and then it puts a lot of stress on me. And like, yeah, even during times when I really liked him, when we were talking, I still was kind of like, I don't know if this would ever work out because I don't think he's not really what I actually want. He's just some fake.
Your brain is filling in blanks that he couldn't give you.
Exactly.
And it's not rooted in any sort of reality. It's just like hopeful thinking, you know?
Exactly.
And that sucks. That's hard. I've been there too. It very much so. And it's weird. It's like you have to remind yourself this isn't real.
Exactly.
We've narrowed it down to 5 big points of the things that we've gained from being single for so long and for our like, our first decade of adulthood almost, which is crazy.
A lot of people, I feel like, don't have this experience.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they do and I'm wrong, but I feel like most people have had a relationship or being in your 20s is for, I don't know. A lot of people think dating, and we've dated a lot, but we just haven't had serious committed things through dating.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of trial and error.
And yeah, we narrowed it down to 5 things that we were able to really focus on. So we sat down and thought about it. And these are the 5 things that we've been able to lean into and the things that we've gained from being single for so long.
The first thing we came up with is you can focus on friendships and other kinds of love.
Yes.
I think Pete and I honestly do a pretty good job at that.
We do.
Every year we get each other Valentine's presents.
And not just like, here's a little trinket, Like I came home last Valentine's Day from work and Noelle had laid out a card for me. Like there was some sort of a bottle of wine because we like cooked dinner together and she picked up a bottle of wine. It was like very romantic.
Yeah, and roses, an vase of roses.
Yes, and it was just so sweet. And
low key, like, I'd be a good boyfriend.
Yeah. That just is also an example of why it's like, I feel like I have such fulfilling friendships and other types of love in my life that it's like, if I don't have a boyfriend doing that stuff for me, then what's
the point?
Yeah,
of
why would I
having
have
a guy
you in my
who
life?
does less?
Exactly.
Like,
just because you're not in a romantic situation doesn't mean that there's not an abundance of love around you, and that there's not an outlet for you to like share your love and appreciation towards other people in your life.
Yeah. I think I'm very lucky and grateful for so many of my friendships. I have so many friends in my life that I love, and I feel loved by my friends too. Especially just living with Pete, like literally having a best friend as a roommate. I feel like we'll just do cute little things for each other, like leave each other notes, and we just love hanging out and being together. And I don't feel like I need a man to fill that void or replace, it's like, I got Pete. And if I have a man too, then that'll be awesome and cool. But I don't feel like I need that to fill some kind of love void in me, because I really do love my friends.
Yeah. And
family.
Female friendships too. There's just something to be said about it. Like they can be so fulfilling and so deep and so like formative, and they can give you a lot of that like connection that we need as humans that you don't need from a romantic partner.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, it's fine.
I hate the narrative that female friendships are toxic, like women friendships. Yeah. I mean, of course, there's toxic relationships everywhere. I've had toxic female friendships before, but that's not because women are toxic. That's just because sometimes people are. Yeah. But most of the female friendships I have in my life are so incredibly important to me. Actually, this morning I was walking to meet a friend at like 7 a.m. who's just going through a hard time. And I've been waking up really late recently because I've been exhausted. But I was like, I will set an alarm and wake up early for this friend tomorrow. And I did. And I was calling my dad on the way there. And I was like, yeah, friend needs me, so I'm up. My dad was actually like, are you okay? Why are you calling me at 7 a.m? It's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just going to see this friend who's going through something and needs me. And my dad was like, well, that's you. Always there for your friends. And I was like, ah, that makes me happy.
It's a good trait, a good quality to have.
I really do love my friends so much. Even when I'm MIA and stressed in my own life, like I feel like if a friend texts me and is like, I need something, like I will be there. I feel like I'm just tooting my own horn right now. Like I definitely could be a better friend in lots of ways too, but like female friendships are really, really important to me. Having people's back and them having mine.
Also, I'm going to tell like a little story. It's important to have like your own relationships outside of like if you are with a partner, outside of like their friends, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you kind of revolve your entire life around your partner, and then if you break up, you're like, who am I? Where are my people? I'm going to tell a story about high school. And obviously things are so different now because we're adults. But like I was in a relationship in high school. I think that, obviously it's school. So our lives are so much more intertwined than, we're going to the same school. We're in some of the same classes where we have a lot of the same friends because we're in school. I was in this relationship for like around a year, and then we broke up, and I literally realized, oh my God, like all the people I was hanging out with were like kind of his friends first. And now I'm like, do I even have any friends? And there was a period of time, this is so sad, but like there's a happy ending. I would eat lunch with my boyfriend every day and like his friends who were also my friends. But then when we broke up, I didn't have anywhere to eat lunch. And I sat in the lobby of the school by myself for like a period of time, eating lunch by myself.
I didn't know that.
Really? I never told you that story. Yeah. And it was like really sad because I did have a lot of friends. And I think because I was just so like young love, infatuated, and in this relationship, I spent most of my time with him, and then I got closer with, his friends, and then we broke up, and I was like, oh, this friendship that I had, I kind of let it go because I got into a relationship, and I feel like that's so common. So you don't want to end up in that situation. Like, even if you are in a relationship, like, maintain your friendships, because that's scary. I've had friends who I've lost because they got into a relationship, and that was a really sad moment for me. But it took me just like a second to pick myself back up. And then I like thrived like I never had before in high school, and had my best years, my best time after that breakup, after I had my moment of eating lunch on the lobby floor by myself for, I don't know, it felt like a long time to me, maybe a month or something.
That is still so sad.
Then I made new friends. I focused, I poured so much of what I was pouring into my romantic relationship into new friendships. And then I was just like thriving, like I said. So it's so important to focus on other types of love. Just because it's not romantic or sexual, or if it's platonic, like, doesn't make it any less fulfilling, I guess.
Yeah, no. And I've always said too, I'm like, if I ever get into a relationship and I disappear or something, you let me know and you get me out of that.
Number 2 is not relying on validation from another person. I can speak on the experience of being tied to the male gaze and
For sure.
trying to get my validation from men. Of course, this can go for a partner of any
Gender.
of any gender, of any kind, any type of relationship. You don't want to be relying on another person to make you feel better about yourself.
I remember my senior year of college crying to my therapist and being like, why do I need every single man on the face of the planet to think that I'm hot?
Dude.
Even the ones that I'm not attracted to.
Yeah.
Like, why do, and I would get so, oh my gosh, just like insecure and upset, and probably kiss boys that I didn't even want to be kissing, just even consensually, but just like, because I wanted the validation of knowing that they were into me, which luckily I'm so glad that I made that discovery when I did, because I could so easily still be there now. I mean, of course I feel it sometimes. Like, there are days when I feel not cute, and then I'm like, ugh, or like if I see a cute guy or whatever, like I want to look good for them. Like, I mean, of course there are days when my self-esteem is low, but overall, like, I don't have that experience anymore where I'm like, I need to be the hottest bitch alive, and I need every man to think that I'm hot and think that I have the best body. Like, all of this stuff that just isn't. And that was even when I was single too. I still felt like I needed male validation, but then I kind of stopped dating for a while and found my inner love with myself.
Yeah, that's really hard. And I actually do think it's something I still struggle with. And it's kind of prevalent for me right now. I was telling you about this the other day, which this isn't something that is usually like super prevalent for me. But whoa, like, I'll be honest. I don't feel super like connected to my sexuality, and I don't feel super empowered right now. And I'm like, what is that about? This is just like within the past week I've been feeling this way. And I'm thinking about it, and it's like I felt the most like in touch with that side of myself like when I've been with men. And I hate that.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I need a man to bring out that side of me or to feel more in touch? And it's because I'm getting the validation. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot, like, I'm pretty because he thinks I'm pretty. But it's like,
exactly,
I want to know that within myself. And I do. But I feel like it's very shaky for me right now. And so this is very prevalent. So, you know, these things, even though I've spent the majority of my adult life being single, I still struggle with these things. But it's like cool because it gives me the opportunity to like realize that and then like work on it, because I really don't want to be relying on the male gaze for me to feel confident and like in touch with my sexuality. Like, that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. And it's not what I want to focus on.
It takes a lot of hard work, honestly, to get there, though. Like,
it does. I don't even know how to like do it right now.
I feel like it took me years to get to where I am now. And honestly, I've been feeling a little not hot recently, too. But honestly, that fluctuates so much. I felt so hot in like March, and now it's September, and I don't know like what I mean, it's honestly probably because I've been, I don't know, eating poorly, that has nothing to do with like the way my body looks, but I just feel so like meh.
Yeah.
Like my stomach hurts all the time and I'm just kind of like tired. Like,
yeah. And hormones fluctuate so much
Exactly.
and affect this like literally week to week for me. Yeah. I think I've just been realizing like sometimes I don't feel desirable if I'm not actively being desired by someone.
Yep.
And it's like, what the fuck is that about? You know, like why am I even thinking about that? But I don't blame myself because I know it's society and the patriarchy that make me feel this way. But I'm really trying to undo that. And being single gives me the opportunity to do that. I want to find that within myself. So I'm still figuring out how to do that. But I think me recognizing it and then also just like focusing on myself and not dating just to date.
Yeah.
It's like I'm open and I will date if like a person I'm interested in comes along and it feels right and whatever, but I'm not looking just to like put a band-aid over something.
Exactly. Yeah, not looking just to look, but like if someone great comes along, yay, that's awesome, but not swiping on the apps to fill some void,
because that at the end of the it just leaves you more empty.
It does.
It so does.
You have to have the right intentions. I feel like there's definitely a way to date with intention and being on Hinge or whatever, the dating apps. If you're swiping through, if you're like, hey, I feel open and I feel ready for a person, let me see if anyone piques my interest. But I remember a long time ago when I had the apps, maybe like in college, I would swipe yes on like so many people, even if I didn't think they were cute, just to see if they liked me. Like I'd literally be like, I don't think they're cute, but like I want someone to like me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. Now, like, now I've swung in like the opposite direction. I'm like, don't talk to me. Kind of. But then I also did have a lot of fun in Brazil, so I can't really say that.
I think it's just also a matter of knowing when you're ready and when you're not.
Totally.
You know, try to get in touch with what's the reason I'm actually doing this? Am I actually just ready to try to find a connection? Or am I trying to fill a void? Am I putting a Band-Aid over something that's missing within me that ultimately I'm only going to be able to fill myself?
And that's the question.
That's the question. I actually have to pee.
Oh, okay. Bye.
BRB.
The third thing that we decided we gained from being single, number 3, is freedom. 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 Freedom.
I don't know. I didn't know what the first thing was.
Freedom.
No,
I like don't remember how it goes.
You went to my part.
Freedom.
I used to be obsessed with singing that song.
Of course.
In high school.
That's so funny. Anyways, freedom.
Freedom. What does freedom mean to you?
To me, freedom means being able to live your life freely without factoring in somebody else's needs or wants. For example, planning a trip. Like this past summer, I traveled for a month. And I mean, honestly, I would like to be with someone in the future who I'm still able to do these things with anyways. Like, I don't want someone who's like, don't leave me for a month. You have to stay here. I mean, like, obviously miss me and be sad about it. But, you know, I don't want to stop living my life for anyone. But even, you know, if in the future I am with someone and I'm traveling or I have to go on tour for a job, you know, that's the musical theater world too, or the acting world in general.
Yeah.
What if I book something and I have to go somewhere else for like 9 months? I want to just be able to do that. And right now, I feel like in my life being single, I'm able to audition for whatever I want to, plan whatever trips I want to without thinking about like, oh, but like I'm gonna miss this one person, or like, is that a bad idea? What if they don't want me to do that? I just am literally able to live my life the way I want to. And even though I think that your future partner shouldn't stop you from living your life, I do think that being in a relationship means having to factor in their wants and needs. But when you're single, you don't have to factor any of that in. You just have to think about your wants and needs. So you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. having the time and space to also focus on your career. If you're a career driven person, inevitably, like when you're in a relationship, it takes a lot of your energy. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like when you have that excess energy to give elsewhere, that can be a good thing. I feel like I've put a lot of my energy throughout my 20s towards just my own endeavors and my career, and it wasn't going to anyone else really in that way. And then just not having to think about another person when you're planning your life, especially like when you're in a relationship and things get more serious and you are like life partners at that point, and like maybe you live together. It's like that other person's needs are always going to be like a priority for you. So like just enjoying the time you have.
Yeah.
When that's not a thing you have to think about.
Like, I feel like I just have so many random things I want to do in my life. Like, at some point, I'm still trying to up and go to London, even if it's just for like 3 or 4 months. And, well, hopefully if I am with someone, it's someone that would either want to go with me or would just be willing to work with me on that. But either way, like, I feel like having the time, like spending the last whatever decade being single, I've really learned to value making plans for myself and thinking about my future and my career and what I, Noelle, would want without someone else. So now I feel like when I do get into a relationship, I do kind of already know what I want in my future.
Yeah. Well, and then that's how you know like who to look for too. Like,
exactly.
If you can focus on what you want out of your future, then you're going to have a more clear idea of who's going to be a good fit for you as a partner, because they'll either align with you in that way, or ideally you want someone who just supports you. And even if they don't want that exact same thing, they want you to have that thing. So they're going to like support you in that way. So yeah, if you don't spend any time alone, I think it can be more of a challenge to like understand, what do I want for my life that has nothing to do with another person? And then you'll be able to find a partner who fits that for you.
I'm also someone who does not believe in right person, wrong time.
Me either.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, whatever. People have their opinions. Maybe that's a thing, maybe it's not. But I really feel like if someone is the right person, you'll just make it work. People do long distance for the right person. Like, sometimes people are worth it if they're supposedly your person. My voice teacher in college, love and miss him, Ken. He and his husband did long distance for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're like one of the cutest couples ever. And then apparently, I remember Ken telling me, he was like, we did long distance for 10 years and then we moved in together right away. And all my friends were like, that's a bad idea. Like, you guys have been doing long distance for 10 years and now you're just going to suddenly live together. And Ken just like didn't listen to any of them because he followed his gut. And now they're still together and they're so in love. And it's so cute.
And every relationship is so different.
Exactly.
I don't really believe in right person, wrong time either when it comes to like, I mean, I don't know, life circumstances, like distance and stuff like that. I do believe there could be a wrong time if like someone is not in the right headspace though.
Yeah, that's valid.
Like, if you need time to, if you aren't in touch with yourself or what you want to, like, what are you going to be able to bring to a relationship, you know?
But I do feel like if it's right person, wrong time, maybe the time will come later.
Come. Yeah, and if it's not, then it's not the right person. You know? So
there are so many.
I agree.
Not so many, but there are just like a few people I can think of in my life that I really wanted it to work out with, and it didn't work out. And now looking back, I'm very glad that I wasn't in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, we love freedom.
Yes. Number 4, learning more about yourself, finding your interests and hobbies, and forming your own identity. I think like especially in my younger years, like my last relationship ended around, so I've been single, I think, since I was 19 or 20, and I'm 27 now. So after that relationship ended is when I really feel like I came into myself. And it was like a formative time in my life as well. It was like my early college years, and I never stopped learning about myself and like forming my identity, I suppose. Like, I don't know if I love that phrase, because I just don't think we should identify as humans with like, I don't know, we're so much more than our hobbies and our interests, and you know, like what we do is not who we are. But I think just getting to know yourself and what brings you joy, exploring those things, having the time and space to explore, figure that out. Again, the more you know about yourself, the more likely you are to find someone who's compatible with you. I think also just like being comfortable spending time alone too. Just like being with yourself. Like you are the only person that you have to live with your entire life. So like it's important to like enjoy being with yourself.
I guess a reason why it's important to experience these things and to reflect on what we've gained through being single is through learning how to love your life when you're single, you kind of set yourself up for success either way. Like either you're going to continue being single forever if that's what you want, but you'll know what you love and what you want and you can be happy doing it. Or you've found yourself so much that when someone does come along, it'll be someone who complements that.
Exactly.
So either way, you're a well-rounded person no matter what.
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends back in high school. Granted, this was high school, so we were young, and this is a similar story to what you said earlier, but I had a friend who was in this relationship for like a year or so, and she made her whole life about this man. She like kind of stopped hanging out with her friends. She stopped doing all of her hobbies. She would go to do his hobbies with him instead. You know, it's good in relationships to try out each other's hobbies and do things with each other, but as long as you're still, you know, taking care of yourself too and doing the things that you love. But she kind of just revolved her entire life around him. And then he cheated on her like a year and a half or 2 years into the relationship, and they broke up. And she just was like, I don't even know who I am. I stopped doing everything I love. I stopped hanging out with my friends. Oh my God. And she, luckily now she's like, it's been years now and she's found herself and she's doing amazing. But I remember at that time her feeling really, really scared and just really empty and being like, what is my life without this man? Granted, breakups are always hard, no matter what. I feel like even if you have found yourself and you're sure of yourself and you break up, that's still sad because you're going to miss that person maybe, but at least you'll still know yourself and your worth, and you'll be able to find joy in the things you love to do because you'll know what you love to do and your hobbies and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, so that's number 4. Just getting to know yourself more without the influence of another person, especially in your 20s, you know, and these, you know, I don't know, 20s are so weird. Like,
they're so weird.
I was just talking about this with my coworkers yesterday. Like when you were a teenager and you were thinking about yourself when you were 27 or whatever, however old you are, it's not what you think. It's not what you thought it was going to be. Like, I think that in your 20s, we're expected to just have shit figured out. And some people do, and that's great. But like, I think your 20s are for figuring your shit out. You know, like you're navigating it. You're in the real world as an adult for the first time. It's like you're kind of a baby in adult years, you know?
Yeah, it's
like, weird. I think that if it's the right person and you have been in a relationship since you were young, like if it's right, then you'll grow together. You know? But if you're single, you can benefit so much from having that time on your own.
Yeah. What are ways to learn more about yourself? Now I'm like, I feel like I know about myself, but how did I even learn about myself?
I know. It's weird because I feel like it's a thing that just happens.
Like journaling.
Like, yeah, journaling. And, you know, we talked a lot about this kind of stuff on our self-care episode. So if you haven't listened to that, go back. Because we talk a lot about like spending time with yourself and getting comfortable, like sitting with your emotions and stuff. But I don't know, like
also, I guess.
I feel like I gained a lot of hobbies in the past few years, or like realized what that actually means. Because I spent so much of my childhood and then college just kind of focusing on musical theater and all this stuff. And it's like, that's not a hobby to me because that's like my career. Hobbies are like things that bring you joy that have nothing to do with making you money. It's just like you enjoy doing them. And
we do enjoy musical theater.
Yeah,
but
it's just different. Like for me, like cooking, I realized, oh, wait. I love food. I have a passion for food. Cooking's kind of a hobby for me.
I guess we both kind of realized we were foodies. Like in our 20s.
I've like always known that, but I've never thought of it as like something I'm passionate about.
Same, until recently. And now being a tour guide for food tours, I'm like, okay, I actually know something about food and I like it. Like it's interesting, it's fun. I love trying new foods. Yeah, you and I both. I feel like
actually funny because something that I remember. So my last breakup when I was like in my sophomore year of college, something that I got really into after that was thrifting. And I became like this huge thrifter in college. It was like my favorite pastime. And then I feel like that kind of led me to my love for jewelry because I would always find this cool like vintage jewelry at these thrift stores. And I got really into expressing myself in that way. And then I ended up starting a jewelry business and like realizing I had that passion. So I think it's kind of like one thing can lead to another as well. Like I got into yoga, you know, just like
I miss yoga.
All these things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, number 5, last but not least, even though there are definitely so many more things we just didn't think about.
We narrowed it down to 5.
We narrowed it down. Number 5, learning how to literally be alone.
Physically.
Like
and
physically.
I guess I kind of mentioned that for the last one because they kind of intertwine. Learning more about yourself and learning how to be alone. You know, you have to be alone to kind of learn more about yourself. So they go hand in hand. But yeah, like learning how to be alone physically.
Yeah.
Learning how to do things for yourself.
Like literally doing laundry, cooking, cleaning. I mean, granted, like we don't live in the 1960s. So I feel like now, you know, men at least are learning how to cook and clean for themselves maybe a little more than they used to. And we are as well. But also like us doing things. You mentioned yesterday, literally grocery shopping in New York City, having to carry heavy ass bags around the city. Like hopefully one day, like if we're in relationships, cute boys will carry our heavy things.
Yeah. Well, I always think about that. It's like my love language is acts of service. Also quality time. But like, I think really my love, like the way I feel most loved and cared for is acts of service. So I know my future person will be doing things for me to make my life easier because that is how I feel the most love.
But you don't need
I don't need that. And that's important because I mean, I do need that from a partner, but
you don't need
being
that.
Single, I don't need that from someone else because I've done that for myself.
Exactly.
And there will be a day when I am in a relationship and it'll feel like a weight is lifted off of my shoulders because I'll finally have someone who wants to take care of me. But I have done the work and I know how to take care of myself. So like if that was ever to end or whatever, it's like I always have myself.
Like you wouldn't not know what to do.
Right. Like I am a strong woman and I can literally, I live for myself. I'm financially independent. I know how to do things or I've had to figure out how to do things and don't rely on another person or a man in particular to do things for me. But I know it'll be really lovely one day when like someone can and will and wants to do that. But I don't need that because I've always had me.
Exactly. Yeah. Not worrying about, or I guess like you don't have to worry as much about being codependent or experiencing a codependent relationship. But actually, I do know some people who had been single for a long time and then became codependent when they got into a relationship. So I don't really know. I think it's all just kind of complicated too.
It's so complicated. And like every person and relationship, just it's different. Varies person to person. But spending time alone though, it enforces, I guess, your foundation. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to become codependent truly with someone because I've had so much time on my own and I am such a fully formed human. And I know that whoever I attract into my future is going to be the same. Because I think like I want a person who also works on themselves and is like independent and, so I think it won't be an issue because I have these like strong roots, I guess, in myself. Anything else for being alone? I guess just also doing things like taking yourself on dates.
Yes, I love doing. I used to be so scared of doing things by myself until I did the Artist's Way. Now everyone knows what the Artist's Way is because Doechii did it, and now TikTok.
Oh, really?
Doechii. That's
didn't know
actually
that.
how she.
What?
I think came up with her newest album because she was struggling in her Wait, that's crazy. You didn't know that.
No.
She was like struggling
I love Doechii.
a lot. Same. She was struggling a lot with her creativity and like writing new songs and stuff. And she did the Artist's Way. And then that's, I think, when she came out with her or came up with her
amazing
newest album. But yeah, me and Pete have both been familiar with The Artist's Way for a long time. I completed the whole thing back in 2018. If you don't know what it is, I'm like, how do I even explain it? It's not a self-help book though. It's like a
method almost to getting your creativity back. Mm-hmm. But the book gives you all these tasks and ritual type things to do.
Yeah, and one of the tasks you have to do is every single week for 12 weeks, you have to take yourself on an artist date. And the definition of that in the book is just going to take yourself. You're not allowed to be with anybody else. I mean, besides like strangers that are maybe in the place you're at, but you're not allowed to take any friends or family. You just have to take yourself to do something fun. And that's literally the task. And it's just to spend time with yourself, get to know yourself better. And I didn't like doing things by myself until The Artist's Way. And then I realized I actually really do enjoy it. And now, wow, then I fully went on a solo trip this past summer. That's actually crazy. I didn't even think about that. Wow, I spent a week in Costa Rica with myself.
Yeah, you did.
That's crazy. I would not have done that before doing The Artist's Way.
Artist date for you.
The biggest artist date, yeah.
I got really into doing that this summer too because you were gone. And like, I spend a lot of my time with you. Mm-hmm. And usually, like, if I'm doing something, you know, I like having you there. I just had a lot of alone time. And I got creative with, like if I had a day off, I was like, okay, I want to be really intentional about this. Like, what can I do today that, like, will bring me... it could be the smallest thing. Like, one day I was like, okay, I'm tired, but, like, I really feel like I need to get out of the house. And I just, like, found a bookstore that I could walk to. And I said, okay, I'm going to walk to this bookstore. I'm going to peruse. I'm going to buy a book and I'm just going to come home. Mm-hmm. Like things as simple as that. Like I did that with myself. I also like took myself to a Broadway show, which felt so special.
I love going to shows by myself.
Yeah. I actually won the lottery, which was so funny. I had never played the Broadway lottery. One day I was sitting at work and I was like, I have the weekend off. Like, let me just see like what shows I can play for. And I wasn't expecting to win, but I entered for like a bunch of shows and I won for the Stranger Things play.
Oh my God, I remember.
And I was like, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to take myself. And I went and took myself on a little date and I got a little drink at the theater. And I don't know, I literally felt like I was on a date with myself. And I love doing stuff like that.
The most extravagant date I've taken myself on was I was working the Tony Awards a few years ago. And I was literally wearing like a gown and heels. And then we had this huge dinner break and we were near Quality Italian in Midtown, which is an incredible and also fancy Italian spot. And I didn't know what to do during my like 2-hour break. So I walked my ass over to Quality Italian. I was wearing a full-on gown and heels by myself. And I sat and I ate fancy pasta dinner. I got pasta, I got wine, I got a dessert, and I was just by myself.
That. I love that so much.
I was a little nervous just because I was like, this feels so extra because I'm literally wearing a gown
and you're like
by
dining.
myself.
Yeah.
But I was like, why not? Like, I look good. I have nothing to do for 2 hours. What the fuck else am I going to do in a gown? I have to go do something fancy. So, yeah.
I love that. I've actually never done that. I've never taken myself out for like a meal. I've gone to like cafes and eaten lunch or whatever, but like gone to a restaurant and like sat down and ate dinner.
It feels a little intimidating.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that.
People do that. I did that when I visited my friend Kendall in San Francisco too, because she was working some of the time that I was visiting. So I like went out to dinner by myself and I got like oysters.
I love that.
By myself.
Love that. Yeah, so it's important to find the joy in being alone. And it can be uncomfortable at first if you are not used to it, but keep doing it until you enjoy it. All right, that's pretty much all we have for you guys regarding how to be single. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you are single, you know, just appreciate the time you have. I think about this all the time. Is like, I'm going to meet my person one day. It could literally be tomorrow. You don't know when it's going to happen. So I think just enjoying the benefits of your single life.
Because if the goal is to meet someone and to be with them forever, like, enjoy now when you haven't met them and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Because then you'll have the rest of your life hopefully to be with them, and you never know when you're going to meet that person, you know? So it's good to enjoy and live in the moment.
Yeah. And I guess my take home would be the more that you focus on yourself, you know, if you are single, I would say date intentionally. Just know what you're looking for and don't date just to date. I mean, do what you want, but I think that there's something special about being single, and maybe instead of trying to date someone to like fill something that you feel is missing within you, maybe look a little deeper and see like what you can give yourself, that because at the end of the day, like, we don't need anything from anyone. Like, everything you can find within yourself. So maybe just think about that, sit with that. And I think the more that, like, if you are single and you haven't found your person, and the more you work on yourself, spend time with yourself, get to know yourself, appreciate your freedom, and focus on your career and what you want out of your life, you're going to attract the person that aligns with you the most.
True.
You know, that is my take home.
And I agree with that take home, and that is my take home.
Okay.
Now it is time for our advice segment.
Woo, listener write in.
Woo. Okay, here's our question. How have you two made new friends post-grad? Struggling to figure out how to do this. So valid.
Such a good question, because it is hard. I think we talked about this a little bit on one of our episodes, like moving to a new city. I think I am still navigating that and figuring that out.
Yeah.
I will say, like, the people that I've gotten to know the most or have become closest with post-grad that I didn't know before moving to the city have been friends of friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, even like your friends, like
Claire,
your
Sarah.
childhood friends who like I've become closer with because of, you know, through you. I'd say, like, show up to things where your friends of friends are going to be there.
Yeah, honestly. And one of my, I've mentioned her so many times in the podcast, one of my besties, Sarah, has the idea of having a party where, like, you know, she invites all of her friends, but every single person invited has to bring one person that, like, isn't already a part of the friend group.
I love that
so we'll
so
all
much.
It'll be, and hey, you who wrote this in, you're invited because we know who you are and we love you. I think, like, that's such a fun example. But yeah, I feel like luckily I mean, we went to musical theater school. The majority of people who went to musical theater school moved to New York City, so we do already have that community. But I feel like the people that I've become friends with in New York have all been friends of friends.
Friends
really.
of friends.
I guess you just have to really not be afraid to message someone and be like, hey, like, this is so random, but I'm trying to make new friends and be more social. Do you want to get a drink? I've gone on a couple of friend dates in the city. And honestly, I know that can feel a little awkward at first because it's like just going on a friend date. But I've made some good friends through doing that. My good friend Emma Ashford, who I love, I feel like we met through mutual friends because we both have prosthetic eyes, which is funny. But then we started messaging, and now we're like good friends. We get lunch every once in a while. We stay in contact. Yeah, and also just friends of friends. Like, Sarah moved up here, and she has other friends up here too that I don't really know. So I've met some of her friends, and then there are some friends of hers that I'm like, I really like them. You should invite them to this thing, and blah, 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 blah. So I think just like, literally, showing up to events that people host. And
Also, I will say, I think people forget that, like, true friendships are a lot of work. Like, if you do show up to one of these events and you really click with someone, I think, like, connecting with someone can be really rare these days. So, like, if that does happen, really lean into it and follow up. Like, I have one of my, like, I would say closest friends who I've just become a lot closer with within the last year, maybe. I kind of give her a lot of credit for teaching me that you have to, like, stay consistent with your friends, because she would ask me to hang out a lot. She would be like, hey, let's get a drink this day. And I'd be like, yes. And now we hang out pretty consistently.
You guys do.
Yeah, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But, like,
and now she's one of my friends too.
Yeah,
through
now
you.
Exactly. Now she's one of your friends. But, like, she really put it, like, she reminded me, oh yeah, you have to put in the effort to, like, get to know people. Because
you do.
You have that initial connection, but then you have to, like, closeness comes just with, like, spending time and building that trust and, like, intimacy and closeness with another person. And that takes effort, especially in your adult life when things are crazy and everyone has their own schedules. It's like carving out time to spend time with people and get to know them better is essential. And then eventually you'll just get to a point where they're, like, one of your good friends, and, like, you want to put in the effort to to see them.
Also, I feel like if you don't have friends right now that have mutual friends or whatnot, if you're feeling just like more lonely, you know, you can also join clubs. I've made friends at in sketch comedy class, and like just different classes and hobbies you can also sign up for as well if you really want to meet someone, not through a mutual friend, but just from scratch. I made a really good friend in my sketch comedy class, and we still we DM each other all the time. We've gotten lunch a few times. She's a fitness instructor, and she's given me free comps a bunch of times, and that's someone I just met in class and then was like, we both were kind of like, we want more friends, haha, and started hanging out. I actually haven't seen her in a while. I need to text her, but yeah, I've made some pretty good friends from taking class and stuff too.
Yeah. So. And I feel like so many people are in this boat of like looking for more friends and like connection as an adult. So don't be afraid. Don't feel like shame for it, because I feel like everyone I talk to is going through this same thing. So just know that you're not alone, and others are feeling that too. Others want to connect with you as well. So just remember that.
Remember that. All right. Well. If you made it this far, thanks.
Congrats.
Congratulations. I'm always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. We made it. They was never friendly. Yeah. Now I'm hopping out the Bentley.
Oh.
Yeah. And I know I gotta have it. Yeah. And there's no sound dramatic. And no.
Okay. I don't know any of those lyrics, so I couldn't join in. Okay. Please, if you're listening to this, give us a follow on all of our platforms at Take It Home Pod. Subscribe. Just give us a rating if you liked it. 5 stars. If you didn't.
And if you didn't like it, no need.
Don't do that.
No need to rate it.
Yeah. So just do all the things you can to support us as we're trying to build this community. And if you have an idea for an episode, please let us know. We want to interact with you guys. We want to create what you want to hear. So let us know. And then if you have a question or you want your question to be featured on one of our future episodes, you can DM us with your listener write-in question. We'll give our advice.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's all we have today for Take It Home.
Wait. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.